suppose sort of looking back, you know, using them Mulberry hookbaits for, Christ, it was around 1998 I think I first started using them. Fishing boundary water pot, you know, a real young kid, into everything, sort of chap fishing up to the right there and go wandering down as you do, you know, sort of looking at all these baits and so on, and yeah, he showed me a tub of these hookbaits. Well, he actually given me, you know, he had a small bait company at the time, if I can remember rightly. And yeah, back to the swim, wound them in. You know, mid-January it was, certainly not an easy place to get a bite. Out with 2 of these yellow mulberries, and he had a double bite, a 22 and a 14. You know, you can imagine since then confidence was, every time he went fishing, in with these pop-ups until they sort of ran out, you know. And I just sort of move on to other waters, you know, and meet other chaps and so on. You know, it's quite a popular hookbait, and adding your own little bits to it, taking bits from other anglers and so on, you know, and other sort of ranges of hookbaits as well, other sort of fruits and palatants, you know. Been around and used quite a lot of them, and sort of put a few together and added a few things to that mulberry, a few of the powders and so on, and, you know, used that sort of solely for quite a number of years now. Between me and a few sort of like good friends, you'd find going onto waters, especially, well, they work any time of year, don't get me wrong, but sort of going onto the waters back end, it was an edge, being able to put a lot of bait out there. When I say a lot of bait, it was a lot of bait in comparison to what was going out at the time, you know, say 3 or 4 kilos of boilies a night. You didn't want to match the hatch, you know, if them fish, you're using a lot of bait to pull them fish into the area, and you'd use these sort of super attractive mulberry hookbaits over the top. And you were getting several bites, you know, not just nick a bite in the morning or so on, or, you know, you were getting 3, 4, sometimes even 5 bites. Obviously, a lot of fish is being pulled into the area from the bait, but them super attractive hookbaits over the top, they're quickly into the mouths, you know, I'm sure of it. You know, I've put them into my fishing a hell of a lot, and played around with the tones as well quite a lot. Obviously off-the-shelf pop-ups, you know, a yellows are yellows as such, and a pinks are pink. When everyone's using them, you know, it's nice to sort of play around and make them sort of in-between tones, nice sort of yellows, musty sort of pinks and so on. Definitely, you know, I find it a major edge, especially when you're looking over the boat as well and viewing your rigs. You know, it's not, although you can sort of see it and it's a sighter, it's not a luminous in your face, whereas you might want one that's like that, pinged out in the pond on a single upbait, you know, spring, winter, or whatever it be. Like for instance now we're fishing, we've got 3 rods out, every single one's on one, you know, I'm that confident in them. And fishing, no, but like we are fishing for a 50 pounder here, mid-50 sort of linear at the moment. There's no doubt in my mind, you know, if I can get onto that fish and it's feeding on my spot, I'm going to catch anything that's feeding on my spot. So yeah, so don't for 1 second sort of think that they're an autumn upbait or a winter upbait, you know, they'll work 365 days of the year and certainly will catch a big carp, there's no 2 ways about it. If I leave home without them, I'm turning around to go and get them. I put a hell of a lot of confidence into them, a lot of faith. I just know in my mind I can absolutely capitalise on that feeding activity going on my spot. All I've got to do is get a rig back out there. You know, it's certainly not been an overnight sort of project getting these right. Working, God, sort of over 3 years in conjunction with Sticky, getting them. They had to be perfect, you know, I mean, back and two with different mixes and hook baits, so on, you know, dips and etc. Sort of the bait sprays and so on, you know, and until I go out fishing with them myself, you know, put my pot of homemade roll ones aside, pick them up, put them in my rucksack and go, they weren't being released, you know. My name was going onto the tub, they had to be 100%. And yeah, after a lot of, like I say, backwards and forth, we've got them just so as well, you know. Absolutely, in my eyes, perfect. They can cover sort of all ranges of fishing. Small sort of 12 millers like I like to fish for a lot of my fishing. Small sort of claws over a lot of bits and bobs. The 14s, 16s, you know, will cover big hinges, 14s, your Ronnies. Quite a buoyant pop-up as well, you know, so there's one in the range to cover everyone and all the sort of most popular sort of presentations of fishing. And both in the pastel and the fluoro. Like I say, I mean, personally, each to their own and all, but when fishing over quite a bit of bait, I do like to fish them pastels, like I say, not as obvious and in your face as such, but still packed with them sort of attractor profiles that are going to get you that quicker bite. A complete sort of range that I'm 100% happy with. You know, immensely proud, absolutely buzzing to see them on the shelves now.